ESPN sources say three-time MVP Nikola Jokic will not sign an extension with the Nuggets this offseason. He's going to table talks until next year, and there's financial reasons for this, but nevertheless, it could also be a move to put a little pressure on the team that has yet to return to the finals since they won it all in 2023. So let's dive into the financials for Jokic, why he would do this. This superstar is eligible to sign a 3-year, $200 million extension this offseason. But if he waits till 2026, next offseason, Jokic is able to add that 4th year, an additional $77 million, according to our front office insider, Bobby Marks. So eyebrows are always raised when a star player isn't clamoring to extend his contract at the first opportunity to do so. But financially, another $77 million, I would probably take that same path. Windy, should Nuggets fans be concerned about Jokic not signing now?
They should not be concerned, but they should take notice. And so Jokic is the rarest thing in pro basketball. He is a megastar who is no stress. They have never for one day had to ever stress about his contract. He doesn't apply pressure to the organization. He doesn't say things on social media. He doesn't say things on streams, Seaside. About the only thing that he does is go to horse races and dance while drinking wine in the offseason. He is a absolute no-stress superstar. In the last time around, he signed the contract. It was a supermax at the time. No worries whatsoever. Has delivered championships, has stayed healthy, says nothing in the media or anything that causes problems. So this is the first time really in his career he's ever said no. Now, Josh Kroenke, who is their governor, a couple of weeks ago had a press conference and he said, we're going to offer it to Giannis and he's probably going to turn it down because he knows about the $77 million that you just broke down. But it is something to take notice of. So it's something to take notice of in 2025. If he says no again in 2026, we're going to have a 5-alarm fire. And so what we are seeing right now is we are seeing some teams in the league start to make decisions with an eye towards 2027. We're seeing teams like the Clippers and the Lakers potentially trying to save up cap space. And 2027 is when Jokic can be a free agent and when Giannis can be a free agent. Now, maybe both of them extend, and this is not a topic, but the we'll see and the eyebrow raise part of it, that causes action in the NBA, and that's what we're seeing.
$77 million could buy you a lot of horses if you're Jokic here. But, David, the Nuggets have done a lot this offseason. They go and get Cam Johnson. They trade Michael Porter Jr. They get Valanciunas. How do you think what they're doing right now will entice him to want to stay there?
Well, I think they're making moves sort of in the right direction. I like what they did this offseason, bringing back Brown and Hardaway and then making the move with Cam Johnson. I like those moves, and I think this team will be a little bit better. But I think what we're seeing in the big picture with Giannis, with Jokic, is these players that we consider no-frills players that kind of go along with the organization and trust in their front office to build teams around them better. These guys have each won a championship. And what we're seeing is that they understand that the route to get to that second title includes a little bit of pressure on that front office. Yes, it makes financial sense for Jokic to get that extra $77 million into weight. But there is a benefit. There is an incentive there to let these people know, let the front office know that, hey, I'm not just going to go along anymore and just trust what you are doing with this team. I want to put pressure on you. I've watched people like LeBron James, like Kevin Durant, like those guys move and do things to make organizations build better around them and put pressure on them, and it's, garnered success for them. Maybe we should get on the boat and do a little bit of that. And I think Jokic, in the back of his mind and above that $77 million, is a desire to put pressure on that Nuggets team and let them know that it is not taken for granted that I am re-signing with you guys. I want to see actual improvement with this team, with this roster. I want championship-level players around me, and that is, a reason to do this as much as that benefit of the $77 million.
So I guess for now we can put a pause on all of those jersey edits that I've seen flying around Twitter the last couple of days. You're right, because they said with their actions, when they fired Michael Malone, they fired their GM Calvin Booth, that they were going to be building everything around Jokic going forward. Proof is in the pudding, though. OKC isn't going anywhere. The Houston Rockets got a lot better this offseason. So did the Denver Nuggets. But to see what this team becomes now that they have stars with some long-term staying power to one that we are closely watching to see what his future holds In Milwaukee, when Giannis' season ended in the first round of the playoffs, our Shams Charania reported that for the first time ever, the Greek Freak was open to playing for another team. So far, crickets on that front, but Giannis was on a stream with iShow Speed this morning and was asked whether he's staying put.
LA, the tax is bad. New York, tax is bad.
Yeah.
Hell no.
A lot of people tried to convince me to go and play there and stuff.
Oh, no. Wow. So you staying in Milwaukee?
Probably. We'll see.
That's the hard-hitting journalism we want there. A direct question towards Giannis. Windy, obviously some hemming and hawing. He probably doesn't want to lay it all out there when his mind isn't made up. But are these comments something or nothing?
Real talk, that was a great question, and thank you for asking it. Also, Courtney, Giannis is having a better day than me and you. He is seaside, I think, in Greece. So let's keep that in mind. I'm not going to sit here and overreact to this, but the fact that he just said we'll see is the basis of why a bunch of teams are considering holding their assets to try to make a trade for Giannis sometime in the foreseeable future. We'll see is enough in the NBA. That's the value of a superstar player is so high, and the impact that one franchise-changing player can make is so great that a player simply saying we'll see, whether it's on a stream or it's behind the scenes at a party or to another player on a court, we'll see has gotten teams to tear up future plans and to plan years in advance and to hoard cap space and picks. I've seen it happen. So while on one hand, it's not Giannis saying he wants to do anything but be in Milwaukee, it does explain why teams are keeping a very close eye on the situation. And I would say that Giannis provided no clarity on his future with those remarks. And no clarity is what's been driving the speculation around Giannis.
I don't know about you guys. I'm having a great day here in New York City. I don't really have the seaside element, but it's still obviously a good day to be here. David, what do you think Milwaukee's front office, when they hear what Giannis just said, which, as Wendy pointed out, is kind of a whole lot of nothing, how do they approach that?
Well, first of all, I think it was really cool to watch the stream and see the greatest athlete of our generation hanging out with Giannis Antetokounmpo. That was really cool to see those two guys together. But if I'm Milwaukee, Wendy is talking about the we'll see of it. If I'm Milwaukee, I am clinging on to the probably so. I am clinging on to this notion that Giannis is coming back because that's all I have. I have basically thrown my franchise into flux with the possibility of the promise that Giannis should be coming back. I have put Dame Lillard's money, $100 million on the books for multiple years with the hope that Giannis is coming back. Got Miles Turner on the team with the belief that Giannis is coming back. I have been of the belief that is absolutely madness that this has not been done in conjunction with Giannis, that he has not been part of the conversation all along. And the fact that there is any sort of question mark about this after they've done all of this, I would be in complete panic mode of the fact that Giannis is still not coming out and saying, absolutely, I'm coming back to Milwaukee. Absolutely, I wanted Miles Turner. Absolutely, they've done all the things right for me this offseason. I would be really worried about that if I'm Milwaukee. But the thing you have to hold on to is the probably so, because that is the most affirmation that Giannis has given you since the season ended, and you have to hope that that means he's coming back.
Wendy, I'm giving you the final word here. Obviously, you see all of those moves, and Miles Turner at the front line for the Bucks offseason. But how do you think Giannis is taking all this in, not being a part of it, but clearly seeing what they're doing from Greece?
Well, he's as much of a part of it as he wants to be. He is, the centerpiece of the franchise. But I will have to give David, and I have to agree with him on this. When you make a $200 million move, which that's what that was, waiving the last 113 of Dame Lillard's contract and taking on $107 million of Miles Turner, it equals $200 million. When you make a $200 million move and encumber your books for the next 5 years, 4 with Turner, 5 with Dame, you'd like to hear more than probably. So I would say, again, I don't want to overreact, and I know that we're in mid-July here, but $200 million